Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 DreamWorks movies with the best soundtracks. For this list, we'll be looking at some of the epic playlists that accompany the movie studio's animated features. What's your favorite DreamWorks soundtrack? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Kung Fu Panda franchise. Since these are comedy movies about a panda learning martial arts, you might be forgiven for not expecting anything too sophisticated from the soundtrack.
He was so deadly, in fact, that his enemies would go blind from overexposure to pure awesomeness.
And yes, we do get a cover of Kung Fu Fighting, performed by Jack Black and CeeLo Green, which is an absolute banger, by the way.
Everybody is Kung Fu fighting. Kung Fu fighting. Your mind comes fast as lightning. Although the future is a little bit frightening.
However, the rest of the music is actually pretty special. Hans Zimmer and John Powell joined forces again to create this sweeping orchestral soundtrack. The melodies draw inspiration from classical Chinese music and make use of traditional instruments such as the erhu and pipa to great effect. It's a truly beautiful score that's well worth a listen. Number 9. Turbo. An animated sports movie about a snail who wants to be a racer requires a soundtrack as wild as its premise.
Those guys are crazy! Those guys are awesome!
Hey, Blair! The party up here! Jump up and get down!
Or at least something you could blast out in a stadium. Turbo definitely delivers on that front.
Yo, you're listening to 98.6 with hip-hop. What's new, pussycat? Whoa!
A heady mix of old-school classics and original songs, the track list is guaranteed to get the blood pumping. From Run DMC and Pitbull to Tom Jones and the Jackson 5, the tunes don't let up from start to finish. Snoop Dogg even contributed an original song for the end credits.
Life is all in your face, hands in the sky, while snatching, catching the vibe. We go uptown, downtown, that's how we ride.
And you have to give kudos to the movie's signature track, performed by V12 and Nomadic. That snail really is fast.
You slow, you gon' get past. You see him gaining position, but first he won't be last. He's ready to make a dash. Snail quicker than a lightning flash. His engine's roaring, he's flooring, he won't run out of gas.
Number 8. Shark Tale.
Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright.
As DreamWorks films go, Shark Tale might not have been memorable enough to stand the test of time, but that soundtrack is just one great song after another, especially if you're looking for some early aughts nostalgia. The movie featured contributions from Will Smith, Christina Aguilera, Mary J. Blige, Missy Elliott, Sean Paul, and more. All the songs were newly recorded for the soundtrack, and every one is a floor filler. No slow dances here. The cherry on the cake is Hans Zimmer's original closing theme, Some of My Best Friends Are Sharks, which makes playful reference to the Godfather movies. Number 7. The Road to El Dorado. For the music of The Road to El Dorado, musical supervisor Mary Lotta Jacob wanted to go for a non-Western approach. She commissioned Elton John and Tim Rice to write 7 songs with a world music feel.
Changing legend into fact, we shall ride into history, turning myth into truth, we shall surely gaze.
The result was a colorful, upbeat soundtrack that helps make the film a whole lot of fun. The opening number sets the scene, and the tunes keep that feel-good vibe going all the way through.
Made El Dorado, the magnificent and golden.
Elton John also sporadically narrates the movie through song. Our favorite numbers are The Trail We Blaze and It's Tough to Be a God. The only question is, do you prefer the movie versions or the soundtrack versions?
It's tough to be a god, but if you get the people's nod, count your blessings, yeah, keep them sweet, that's our advice.
Number 6. How to Train Your Dragon franchise. Composer John Powell turned to the Vikings and the Celts for inspiration when scoring the How to Train Your Dragon series. The soaring orchestral music incorporates traditional Scottish and Irish instruments, and the soundtrack also includes an original song by Jónsi, an Icelandic singer.
Scream and shout into love, let yourself.
In the second and third movies, the most memorable themes are used to call back to scenes and moments from the original, thematically linking the films together. Test Drive, the piece that accompanies Hiccup's first flight on Toothless, is one of the standout tracks that always strikes a chord with us.
Oh my, it's working!
But perhaps the most memorable musical moment comes from the second film. Who could forget the touching scene where Valka and Stoic sing together?
So keep your love inside, because when a sailor savvy seas but near the fear of drowning, gladly ride the waves of life if you will not agree.
Number 5. Madagascar franchise. We could spend ages debating which Madagascar movie has the best playlist, but who really cares when every song is a tune? King Julian and the Lemurs became icons when they first raved to I Like to Move It.
Move it, you like to move it. I like to move it, you like to move it. She like to move it, he like to move it.
And for a certain age group, classic songs like Wonderful World and New York, New York will forever be associated with cartoon zoo animals. These animated comedy classics feature an array of pop hits, both contemporary and timeless.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
The feel-good songs are sure to make you want to get up and dance, and some are bound to get stuck in your head for days. Number 4. Trolls franchise. The soundtrack for the first Trolls movie went double platinum in the US, while the lead single won a Grammy and also bagged an Oscar nomination. Not bad for Justin Timberlake, who wrote and produced most of the music for the film. The poppy, feel-good soundtrack features a few new songs alongside the hits, and all are performed by a talented cast made up of famous actors and artists.
Your true colors are beautiful.
Anna Kendrick, Ariana Grande, Gwen Stefani, and Zooey Deschanel all take a turn, alongside Timberlake, who also plays Branch, the male protagonist. Like most of the Trolls themselves, the film soundtrack is colorful, upbeat, and loads of fun. The sequel followed suit, this time adding a dash of country and rock to the mix. Number 3. Flushed Away. Flushed Away was DreamWorks' third collaboration with Aardman Animation Studios, and it may have been the quirkiest of the lot. The music would suggest so anyway.
Lady, talking about that old lady. Oh, and the lady wears big undies, huge undies.
Chicken Run had some great rousing themes, but Flushed Away is all about a bit of pop and rock. Some highlights include an impromptu Tom Jones performance by Roddy, some slugs singing Akon, and a blast of Tina Turner's Proud Mary to see in the happy ending.
Lonely, I'm Mr. Lonely, I have nobody for my own.
It's not a musical, but there are bits and pieces of singing throughout Flushed Away, and the slug chorus pops up every now and then to give us a laugh. The rest of the soundtrack is catchy too, and overall, it's a lot of fun. Number 2, The Prince of Egypt. Most of DreamWorks animated movies are set to a soundtrack of well-known hits, but that doesn't mean they can't make an original musical when they want to.
You can never see with your eyes on earth. Look through heaven's eyes, look at your life.
The Prince of Egypt has an epic score to rival Disney's best, with some beautiful songs and intense musical sequences that really pulled out all the stops. The very first scene set the bar very, very high. From the first few notes, Deliver Us gives us chills, but those great songs just keep on coming. When You Believe even won an Oscar. The score was composed by Hans Zimmer, with songs by Stephen Schwartz, and the movie has since been made into a stage musical.
There can be miracles when you believe.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron. Hans Zimmer and Bryan Adams create something really special.
You run like the river, you shine like the sun. Yeah, you fly like an eagle.
Megamind, a fun orchestral score with a dose of classic rock. Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas. An underrated movie with an underrated score. Boss Baby franchise. Like the Boss Baby himself, this soundtrack is larger than life.
In a river or a creek, but I don't enjoy it half as much dancing cheek to cheek.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Shrek franchise. Somebody once told me that the Shrek soundtrack is one of the greatest of all time. Or at least when it comes to DreamWorks movies.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid.
It's hard to name a track we'd skip past in either the first or second installments. From recent rock songs to golden oldies, the movie's music became synonymous with the Big Green Ogre.
Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Hey, not a trace. Yeah, out in my mind.
If you grew up watching those films, Smash Mouth's All-Star will probably conjure up Shrek in his swamp, whereas Holding Out for a Hero may bring associations with the fairy godmother. Each song is great in its own right, while also fitting seamlessly into the story. It's a soundtrack guaranteed to make you leave the movie theater in a better mood than when you came in. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.